All right, let's go to Terry Dwyer now on line 1. How you doing, sir?
Hello, Pete.
Good to hear from you again.
Boy, I'm glad I heard from you, man. My phone was on charge. I missed your call the first time, and I just called back to find out what was happening, and it sounds like you're the man, Pete.
I don't know about that, but at least we got the discussion started here.
Yes, that's wonderful stuff. I heard you found out some things. Show me.
Well, really, I just got a response because I sent an email right away to the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Recreation, and they came back and said that the minister didn't seem to be aware of it, and that really it was a couple of other departments that should be contacted with regard to this matter. They say that the natural resources regarding the ponies themselves and environment and conservation regarding the land.
I see.
So those are the people we need to contact next. I'm certainly going to be following up with them, but at least we got one step into the process here. Anything new on your end, sir?
Well, I can say you got a lot further than I did. I can assure you that.
Really?
You got a whole lot further than I have. I mean, I never even got that much information from anybody.
Listen, tell me, didn't you say that you had already heard from Terry French, or that you were hoping to talk to him soon, or something? What was the gist of that?
I made a call about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I spoke to a girl and gave her the information, and she told me that she was going to pass the information to the minister's right-hand man, whoever that guy is. I have no idea.
Okay.
And they were supposed to phone me back, but I never heard anything back from them. You know, I never heard a sound back from anybody yet.
Okay.
But what people got to realize is this is called a Newfoundland pony.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the only one and the only pony that Canada has, right? I mean, there's no such thing as a Canadian pony, right? Or, well, there is a Canadian horse in Quebec, but the only true pony that do belong to Canada is the Newfoundland pony. Right?
Surprising to know that we're this close to, endangering the breed. Essentially, I don't know how many you said there are, 200 or so in existence today?
Well, there's probably 400 still alive today, right?
Right.
But you were saying the other night that they were going for distinct breeds, but what they're going for actually is evolving breeds.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's what they're looking for.
Well, that's what they suggested for some strategic reason. Somebody was suggesting they go for that, even though it is considered to be here, at least by most people, a distinct breed. This designation would somehow facilitate the process or give them a better angle to work from. I don't really pretend to even understand it, but then there's some disruption in the process whereby it's going to take decades for a distinct breed to be established going a certain route. But in any event, it seems to be complicated and not ironed out, to say the least.
No, we have to start all over again, and well, we do have a registry as to the mares and foals and who bred who, and yeah. And this is what, and you have to do this for so many generations before you can get the Animal Pedigree Act to accept it as an evolving breed, right?
Terry, how many do you say you have there again? What was the exact number?
I got 27, so I got 15 mares and 12 stallions.
Right.
And I get phone calls from people in Newfoundland who do own the pony, asking me about my stallions because they've gone just about as far as they can go with the stallions that they do have. See? Yeah,
they need the new new blood in the mix here.
That's right. They need new blood in there, right?
I was talking to the woman on Change Islands last summer. She's got a dozen or so there, and I know that's a tremendous amount of work, and she's constantly trying to get support and help, and it really costs a lot of money and is a tremendous amount of work. You must find it overwhelming yourself to have 27 on your hands.
Pete, last winter I bought $9,750 worth of hay.
Yeah.
And I'm just a working guy, you know.
Yeah.
And I did take two of my ponies once to the Pacific National Exhibition in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And when I explained to people what these animals are and that they're a rare breed and an endangered species, every single person asked me, "Do you get help from any government to raise these animals?" And I said, no, I do this out of my own pocket. And I've been doing this since 1998 out of my pocket.
And you're ready to come home yourself, are you?
Well, I'm ready to come home as soon as I can get my ponies home, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I got these ponies, I had to buy somewhere to put them. Yeah. So I bought a place on Vancouver Island that cost me $500,000. Now I got a 140-foot barn and a riding arena, 5.5 acres. I mean, you know, for the ponies. But I mean, if I never had the ponies, I would never have bought all of this stuff, you know, and the tractor and all these things. But not only do I have the ponies, Pete, but I also have the sleighs that were made in St. John's, the old antique sleighs. I got buggies, I got plows, I got harnesses, I got anything I got stuff at my brother's house in Gambo, box carts, and just about anything you can name that this pony used as a piece of equipment. I have it all. Just about everything. Right?
Terry, I'd make a call to Pauline Thornhill at Land and Sea. It sounds like an episode to me.
Well, I tell you what, I was talking to somebody, I don't have my book here now to give you the name, but in 2011, I called some part of tourism, and I was talking to a gentleman, I don't have his name right on hand right now, and I mentioned to him that these ponies came to Newfoundland in 1611. I said, now, if I can get the okay with a piece of land, being 2011, it would be 400 years exactly, and I would be bringing them back to Newfoundland, and that would, what I thought would be a great thing for Land and Sea to, you know, to make a program on. You know, exactly 400 years later, here's somebody bringing 20 whatever ponies back to Newfoundland. And I couldn't get a bite out of anybody down there, man. You just didn't go for it, you know.
I just got a question via Twitter for you, if you don't mind. This fellow wants to know if there's wants me to ask you if there's much of a difference between the Newfoundland pony and the Shetland pony.
Yes, there's quite a difference. There's no blood. There's no Shetland blood in the Newfoundland pony. There's no Shetland blood in the Newfoundland pony whatsoever.
Okay.
They're much different ponies. The Newfoundland pony is a very quiet and gentle animal, whereas the Shetland ponies are a little bit more aggressive, we'll say.
Mostly, though, the Newfoundland ponies were respected just for their hardiness, their work ethic, and how long they could keep going.
Yes. But they're not only working animals. There's actually one in Ontario. It's the second best dressage pony in North America.
Oh.
And that pony is up for sale for $10,000. So this is what we got to do in order to get the people who got the money and their kids, you know, that ride ponies and such like this. We have to get them. We have to have them registered as a breed, which makes people, you know, like instead of if you got millions of dollars, you don't buy Volkswagens. You know what I mean? You know, you spend your money on a nicer car. So if your child wanted a pony, and these ponies were known for dressage and jumping and different things like this, people would buy them for their children. But, you know, they would rather if they would be registered as a breed, we'll say, you know.
Right. All right, Terry, listen, I'm going to send a couple more emails, see if I can get some answers for you, and we'll talk again. You hear anything on your side, give us a call back.
I'd like to say one more thing, Pete.
Sure.
Once upon a time, every second man had a Newfoundland pony.
Yep.
Now there's only a very few of us, only a chosen few, that take interest in this. And in the last 15 years, I've seen so many people get in and get out, get in and get out. Yep. But there's only a chosen few of us left that are still doing this. And if something don't happen, I mean, God knows if there'll be anybody, you know, do it in the future. I mean, we gotta, you know.
I'm sure there are more people interested than you know can afford to do what you're doing. I know the people here that I've talked to in the province have a very difficult time. Don't really get a whole lot of support when it's a very important thing that they're doing. And perhaps it's time for us to take a little bit more pride and invest a little bit more in the well-being of the ponies that carries our name.
I told a part of the government, sir, that maybe one day you might see one stuffed and put in a museum alongside the Biotic Museum so you can know what it is, so people will realize what it is in 50 years' time, because if they don't take care, there's not going to be any.
Okay, Terry, listen, thanks again for your call. We'll have to cut it off now, but we'll talk to you again soon.
And I'll keep my phone closer. Thanks, Pete, very much.
Good man.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. There you go, Terry Dwyer calling from out west, where he's got a fair number of Newfoundland ponies that he's desperate to get home and just needs a bit of help in doing it. And we'll follow up for him and see if we can get some answers and see where it goes.